Hey, welcome back. So I'm going to show you a really cool trance synth that I've created in Serum 2. I'm going to show you how I've set it up using the kind of functionality of Serum 2 and not actually going into any of the presets. So I'm going to talk you through how I've set it up in the wavetable and the filters and the envelope and the LFO section at the bottom there. I'm going to give you a quick blast of it as well to begin with, so let's just have a quick audition of the sound. So there's a number of cool things happening with it. You can hear it's arpeggiating. You can hear it's also skipping between the octaves. So yeah, I'm going to talk you through it. So in terms of the setup, we've got oscillator A at the top here in operation. And the oscillator sound that we've gone for is basic CJW, which I think is an analog waveform synth sound. We've got unison set at 6. The wavetable position is set at 256. The detune is set at 0.02. We've got the blend set at 49. The random phase is just at 0 for this. And the regular phase is at 30%. And that is it for the wavetable section. So I'm going to move on down now to the envelope section. Obviously got envelope 1 in operation. And if I just click on that, you can see that we've got the envelope modulating the cutoff up here in the filter section. And really the parameters are as follows, but you can see the pattern that's been drawn. We've got an attack of 407 milliseconds. We've got a hold of, if it's just going to come up, is it going to behave itself? Let's just hover over it again, of 0.0 milliseconds. We've got a decay of 1 second, and we've got a sustain of 0.0 decibels. Oh, and finally the release on this is at 1 second. So that's the envelope filter. And as you say, if you click on that, you can see that it's modulating the cutoff in the filter up here. So let's move on up to the filter. We've got filter 1 in operation. And that is filtering wavetable A here. As you can see, we've got A highlighted. And in terms of the filter, we've got a number of parameters. We've got the filter 1 resonance set at 37%. We've got the fat set at 69%. And as you say, we've got the envelope filter, the envelope modulating the cutoff, the filter 1 frequency at 8 Hz. And it is only affecting oscillator A, as you can see here. We've also got filter 2 in operation, and this is also only affecting oscillator A. As you can see, the A is highlighted, and on that we've got the cutoff at 2243 Hz. We've got the resonance at 9%. We've got the fat at 62%. Yeah, and it's just impacting oscillator A. So those are the filters. If we're moving down to the LFO now, you can see that this is in retrig mode, okay, which might be the default mode actually, I think. And you can see the pattern we've got set up in the LFO. And if you click again on LFO here, you can see that the LFO is modulating the pitch of the noise section here of the filter. And it's also, I can just find it, yeah, up here, it's also modulating the octave level of oscillator A, so you can kind of get a two-step sound up here with that kind of modulation. The noise section has got AC hum 1 on it. I don't think I've changed much here. I think they're both at 0. The level is at 31% on the noise. And finally, we've got mono ticked down here and legato ticked in the voicing section. So that's it for the actual wavetable and filters and LFOs and envelopes. I'm going to now move across to the FX section and talk you through the effects that we've applied. There's a number of effects in operation here. I think we've got 7, although 2 of them are both EQs. So for distortion, you'll see at the top we've got a regular tube distortion, and we've got the drive at 78%, and we've actually, in the kind of the dry wet section here, we've got it at 100% in the mix. Moving on to the compressor. This is just single compression. Don't think any of these parameters have been changed, and the mix is set at 73% wet. Then we have some flanger, and again I don't think any of these parameters have changed, but the mix is set at 57% wet. And then we've got delay. So for the delay at the top, we've got ping pong delay to give it that kind of stereo feel, and we've got it 1/4 in both the left and the right ear, and the mix is at 13%. So we've got it's quite dry, I guess, in terms of the overall presence in the mix there. And then we've not finally, but almost finally got the 2 equalizers. The first EQ is set to kind of boost the mids and reduce the highs, which you can see here. And then the second EQ is all about boosting the lows. It's just a case of messing around with the frequency, the gain and the Q. And then finally we've got some utility, and this is so with the utility we've actually reduced the width to 46%. So we've used it almost like in a kind of a stereo mono way to reduce that kind of stereo width and make it a little bit more mono. And we've also got this R ticked here, which inverts the polarity that we've created in relation to the phasing. So basically it prevents, it's doing that in order to prevent the phasing cancelling each other out. So that's the utility, and I think that's it. So that's the synth run through. As I said, we've got oscillator and we've got the FX parts here, and I hope you have fun with the synth. I hope you like the sound, and if you're interested in some other sounds that I've created in Serum 2, then check out my 2 previous videos where I've done an 80s lead and a kind of a Fat Reese bass on those 2 videos. So thanks again, and hopefully see you in the next video.